If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to this new lecture on gate electrical circuits. So today as usual we will be solving 5 questions from question number 141 up to question number 145. Okay, then let's try to solve these questions. So what is given in 141, in the figure shown in this current source is this, R is equal to this, the impedances are this, the Thevenin's equivalent looking into the circuit across XY. If you look from this side, what will be Thevenin's equivalent? So what is ZTH? ZTH will be equal to, you remove this current source and you see this one, so R is here 1 plus 2J minus J, so it is 1 plus J, so obviously out of these two 1 will be the answer. Okay, now what is the voltage here? The current is flowing this much, so voltage will be equal to VTH will be, if you look from this side, this current is 1 multiplied by this impedance, that is 1 plus J. 1 plus 2J minus J, so 1 plus J. So this is how much? This you should know. This is 1 plus 1 root 2, and because this is same, so angle is here 45. So root 2 angle 45. So this one is the answer, obviously D. By seeing only, no need to calculate also. This is very simple. 1J, it will be root 2 magnitude 1, and that angle is always 1 is 45. 142 is a question, linked question for 42 and 43. The circuit shown below, the Thevenin's resistance across this. Now to find this Thevenin's resistance of these dependent source type questions, because you cannot kill this source. You can kill this source because you know the internal resistance of an ideal voltage source is 0. So it should replace by its internal resistance, that is 0. And same current source is replaced, and it is infinite resistance, parallel connected. So it is open if it is replaced by its internal resistance. But here internal resistance you don't know because it depends on another one. So for this type of questions, to know what will be my Thevenin's voltage, what will be my Thevenin's resistance, we insert a voltage source or current source of 1 volt, whatever. Separate, independent, separate voltage source I am giving, and I see how much current it is drawing. Forget about this side, whatever there. You have a plug point, suppose you put 1 volt source and see how much current it is taking. If it is taking how much current, then you know what will be the resistance, V by I, because here voltage is this much, here current, suppose 1 volt, it is taking 2 ampere current. So what will be the total resistance here? 1 by 2. 0.5 it is there, that's why it is taking this much current. So that is the idea. You give 1 volt, see how much current it is taking. Obviously killing all other sources, means ideal sources, independent sources, not dependent sources you can't kill. So if you kill this one and if you put it 1, then this voltage you know what will be. First let me write it. I have killed this one, so it become 2 here. It is also 2 now. And what will be this? This voltage will be now plus minus 3 into 1, that is 3 volt. This is 2 kilo, and then this is 1 kilo, and then you have connected a source here, 1 volt. Your intention is to find this current I. Okay. Once you know this voltage, this resistance, now from here you can easily calculate. This is 1 volt, this is 1 kilo. So what will be this current? 1 volt by 1 kilo, that is 1 milliampere. This current you know. Now you need to calculate other two currents. So now if you see what is the voltage across these two, so this voltage you can take KVL here. You can take KVL. So this voltage plus this voltage. You can see from here to here, if you move from here, if I move up to here, I will find this voltage and this voltage. So these two voltage is connected in series across this. So 3 volt, here it is plus 3 and it is also plus. So 3 plus 1, so 4 volt is here. If you are getting confused, then you take KVL here. You will find the answer. That is no problem. You consider this voltage V plus minus. Take KVL between these three. V, 3V, 3 volt and 1 volt. This is one battery, just in torch battery 1 and 1, just connected one after another. One battery plus minus, then another battery plus minus. So ultimately you will get this plus this. So 3 plus 1, 4. So across this it is 4. So what will be this current? This current will be 4 divided by 2 kilo. So it is 2 milli. Similarly here also 2 milli. So what is this current? Total current coming 1 plus 2 plus 2, 5 milliampere. So what will be my Thevenin's resistance? RTH. 1 volt if I apply, it takes 5 milliampere current. So this is my Thevenin's impedance. So it will be how much? 5 milli, 0.2 kilo ohm. That is your option B. The circuit given above, the Thevenin's voltage across the terminals AB. Now what will be the Thevenin's voltage across this? For Thevenin's voltage, no need to do this one, just you need to go to original circuit and see what will be this Thevenin's voltage. This voltage they are asking, this voltage, AB voltage. So for that you can take, if I take nodal, here it is required because it will be super node. Let me give the concept of super node here. I think in one of the question in earlier I have given little idea about super node, but I have not solved it using super node. Here I will solve it using super node concept. Suppose this is plus minus, this is 3 VAB and this is 5 volt. You can apply anything, KVL, KCL, mesh, nodal, whatever. But nodal is very powerful, as I always mention here. So I prefer nodal. So you can see here how many nodes are here? 2 nodes. One node. These I am not considering. This is reference node, grounded, because this voltage you already know 5 volt. This is also a node, but this is known node. So unknown node is this and this. But between these two there is a voltage source connected. So it becomes a super node. So what we do in case of super node, you write, we don't write separately from this for this. We write entire equation for this. You consider this is a node. And then you try to do something. Suppose it is Vx, this is Vy. So you write KVL node analysis for the entire node, this super node. So one current is this way, one current is this way, one current. So if you take this node, so there are 3 current coming out of this, because this becomes a one node for me. That is super node. So now if you come this side, it is Vx minus 5 by 2 kilo, and that is plus Vx by 2 kilo, and then it is plus Vy by 1 kilo. So where another equation will come, because two equation in it, another will come from here also. If you see, this is my Vx, and there is a voltage source of plus minus 3. It is VAB means Vy. Vy is nothing but VAB. So I am writing VA, because VAB is VAY. You see, this voltage is Vy, so VAB is nothing but VA. So I am writing it Vy, and I have this Vy. So you can apply a KVL, because this is a closed loop. You can see this is Vx, this is plus 3 Vy, this is, so you can, if you apply this one, you will find this difference between these two voltages is 3 VAB. If you go minus Vx plus 3 Vy minus Vx plus 3 Vy plus Vy is equal to 0. So your Vx is equal to 4 Vy. You can see here Vy plus 3 Vy. Again one battery and another battery, just one after another. So this voltage will be this plus this. So this is the another relation. So you put it there. Now you solve it for Vy, because you need Vy. VAB is a my. So you can put it now. It will Vy 4 Vx. Vx equal to 4 Vy. 2 kilo ohm. 4 Vy by 2 kilo plus Vy by 1 kilo. So kilo you can forget. Suppose I can take kilo common and this side is 0. So it will be 0. So I think you can solve it. If you solve it, you will find it, I think, 0.5 volt. That is your option D. In the circuit given below, the voltage R required for the transfer of maximum power. Okay, again maximum power transfer theorem, but again it is a not normal case one, not our case one. Our case one was this is fixed, this is varying, both are R. Case 2 was this was impedance, this is also impedance, this is fixed, this is variable impedance. Then this impedance is the conjugate of this one. So it is not standard 2 case. That standard 2 different cases we have studied. So it is different. So again, if it is different, so we will do it in this way. Suppose I have a voltage source, this one. I will not get these two are parallel, so I will write it as, suppose I have this is variable, and suppose this is fixed. My R is fixed, like this case. So what if I calculate what is the power here? So again, what is the power? Power will be equal to I square R. So I is equal to V by X plus R whole square into R. So now what I will do, I will differentiate it with respect to X, because variable is here X. So if I differentiate with respect to X and make it 0, V square R, these are constant, it will be gone. So 1 by X plus R whole square, I will take differentiation of this one, ddx. So what will be the differentiation of this one? This one differentiation will be minus 2, 1 by X plus R cube, that is equal to 0. So you got nothing from here, no conclusion, because if you take product it is 0, so 0 is equal to minus, so nothing is coming out of this. You are not able to find any value of X, so this differentiation doesn't hold here. You are not finding it. Now you have to think how you will think. So when the maximum power will occur? Maximum power will occur if you give minimum internal resistance. If your resistance is minimum, then there will be no drop and your current will come here. So here the power is equal to I square R. So if you reduce your X, your I will get increased. So once your I will get increased, you will get power. So what is the maximum value you can reduce to X? You cannot obviously go to negative, so X can be equal to 0. So this is the maximum. The internal resistance, if it is 0, then my I can be maximum, so my power can be maximum. So why this concept cannot be applicable in case 1? So why in case 1 we have gone for differentiation? Now you think for case 1. Case 1 was something of this way. This was fixed, this was variable in case 1, where we say that this should be equal to 0. Now if you see power, here it is I square into X. So if you decrease X, so now you can see, sir, for power, maximum power, we increase X, so you will get maximum power. Okay, if you increase X, this is good. If you increase X, then what will happen? If you increase X, your I get reduced, so you are not getting power here. So same concept. So ultimately you will not, because if one changes, because both are related here. If you change here, it will change. If you increase here, it will decrease. If you decrease here, it will increase. So you don't know when your PL will be maximum. For that you need to go for differentiation. But here if you see, because this is fixed, so if you change X, only I is changing. So you can say when PL will be maximum. If your I is maximum, then PL will be maximum. When I is maximum, when your X is at minimum level, that is 0. So same concept you cannot apply here in normal cases, where case 1. Because here both are variable. If you change this one, this is also going to vary. If you change this one, this is also going to vary. So you don't know at what position this is attaining maximum. For that you need to do differentiation, and after differentiation we found X equal to R is the maximum point when it will be maximum. But here if you remove this one, if you decrease this one, because this is fixed, only one variable is changing, so you can say at what point it is maximum. So that means your internal resistance should be minimum. So if your R is 0, then you say all current will come through this side. If your R is 0, then if you do parallel combination, it will be 0. Or you can say it in, because I got the internal resistance should be 0, so this should be equal to 0. The parallel combination should be equal to 0, which means R should be equal to 0. If it is 0, then this parallel combination is also 0. So that's why R is equal to 0. You are not getting it now. So it is not your standard case. So for standard case you have standard formula. For other case you have to think. First you try your differentiation. If it is not coming, then try to think. Think it this way. What is the power? Then you used to think if you change it, how it is varying. But the same logic is not applicable here. That's why the whole theorem comes here. Because here if change, they both are changing. Both these and these are both changing. So that's why you have to differentiate, find at a point when it's attained the maximum. Or you can try the option also. You put 1 by 1 option, R equal to 0 you put, you calculate total power how much, R equal to 3 you put, R equal to 6 you put, R equal to infinity you put, R equal to infinity you will have 0 power. You calculate all for 4 cases, you see which one is the greatest, that one will be the answer. You will see that at 0 it will be the greatest. So because you have options, no need to think also. This is also nice way in the exam. If you get confused, you put the values and see for which, because it is simple one. You can put that in, you can calculate, only series parallel combination is there. So in 145, this is another one for which the maximum power is transferred from circuit A to B. So this is circuit A, this is circuit B. From A to B, what is the maximum power transfer? So this is again not a standard question. So as you can see, so what you will do, because this side it is internal resistance R, this is also this side, both side power can come. So it is not obviously not your case 1, case 2. So here, what will be the power that first let me calculate the current which is flowing from A to B, because circuit transferred from A to B they are saying. So let me calculate this current. So this voltage minus this voltage divided by this branch impedance. So it is 10 minus this voltage is 3 divided by, so it is 10 minus 3 divided by what is there in between these two, this is also 3, so 2 plus R. So it is 7 by 2 plus R. Now you have this one. Now what you need the power transfer. So what transfer? So if you multiply 10 with I, you will get the power delivered by this source. But this is not their asked. They have asked what is the power transferred from this to this. You can think it in power system concept also. Suppose there is a bus here. So what is the power coming out of this bus? So you multiply this voltage with this current. Then you will calculate the power here. If you multiply this voltage with this current, so you will find power that is coming out of this point. So from that you have to deduct this one, because this is absorbed inside circuit A. Rest power is transferred. So they are asking what is the power transfer. So if you multiply 10 with I, that is also okay. You can do it in 10 into I. but this power is the power delivered by this source. This is not transferred. From this power, some power has lost here out, and the remaining power is transferred. So if you do this one, then you have to do this also. This is the power transfer. So they are asking to maximize this one. I will differentiate this one. Or you can take product of this into this voltage into this. So whatever. So if I take this voltage, suppose this is VA, if I had mentioned it. So it is VA. What is VA? 10 minus 2 into I. So what will be the power transferred? So this VA, ultimately same, you will get this one also, this into this. So you will see, you will get I square R, so it is I square R is 2. So both are equal to, if you multiply this voltage into this current also you will get. So there is no harm. So finally you will get 10 I means 7 by 2 plus R minus 2 by 7 by 2 plus R whole square. So ultimately what we will do, we will differentiate it with respect to R. That is the maximum power to calculate. Now if you differentiate it, I think it will be, so if you simplify it, it will be 2 R plus 2 whole square, 7 into 10R plus 6. I think you can do this simplification. If you do this simplification, final answer will be this. After simplification, it will look like this. You can take 7 common, then it will be 10R plus 6. Okay. Now if you do the differentiation of this one, what will be the differentiation of this one? R plus 2 to the power 4. It is not required because ultimately we are going to make it 0. So 7 you can remove because it is constant. So it will be 0. 7 you can keep this side, that will be gone. So ultimately it will be 10 minus 10R plus 6, and then if you do it, it will be R plus 2 into 2 into R plus 2. So finally if you do it, you will find your 10R equal to 8 and R should be equal to 0.8. So this is a very classic example of Thevenin's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem. So idea is to differentiate that power. What is the power? Whatever power transfer deliver, what they say, you differentiate that power. If you are not getting any concrete result for differentiation like this, then you think why you are not getting, or you can play with the options also. You put one by one option, you can check. But don't use that cases. I am again mentioning you that cases are very specific. Case 1, external resistance should be equal to internal resistance. Case 2, external impedance should be equal to Z star of internal. If your load is varying and it is Z, then you apply this one. If your load is varying and this is only resistance, then you apply this one. Internal is also resistance, load is resistance, apply this. Internal is also impedance, load is also impedance, load is varying, apply this. All other case, take differentiation of that power which is to be maximized. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.